Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Fool and welcome back to Oblivion. We just had a chat with the Grey Fox, where we finished the ultimate heist, and he's given us a wedding ring that we are to show to the Countess of Anvil to see her reaction. I guess that tells us a bit about his history. Cannot fast travel with enemies nearby. I have enemies? Oh. Are you certain? Okay. No enemies now. Not sure what enemies I had, but they thankfully stopped. It is nighttime now, so she might not be in court. She is not. Hello, stranger.
You should be on your way by now. Shadow hide you.
Alright, let's wait 12-ish hours. She should show up by then, hopefully. Or not. You're just gonna chill here, stranger? What was I thinking? 8 a.m.? Nearly 9 a.m.? That's way too early to be up and about. There you go. 10 o'clock.
There's a charge in the air. Been casting some destruction spells?
Only constantly.
Yes.
Hi. I have a ring. Apparently it's the stranger's ring, not the Grey Fox. The stranger. Like the stranger sitting right behind me. First, any rumors?
Curious. Skindrad's people scarcely ever set eyes on the Count, but he's apparently loved and respected by all his subjects.
Yeah, he doesn't want people to know about his condition. Yeah, here's a ring.
This ring belonged to my husband. He's been missing for over 10 years. For some reason, his name and face escape me at the moment. How did you get it? Do you know his whereabouts? Why are you showing it to me?
Take it. It's a gift from a stranger. Possibly the stranger.
My husband's wedding ring. I never thought to see it again. What I wouldn't give to see him once more. He looks familiar.
By the power of the Elder Scrolls, I name Emmer Deriloth as the true thief of Nocturnal's cowl.
You're the Grey Fox? I've been betrayed!
I am the Grey Fox, but you have not been betrayed.
But...
I am also your missing husband, Corvus.
Corvus? Is it really you? 10 years I've waited for word from you. Why did you hide from me?
10 years ago, I inherited this cowl from the former guildmaster of the Thieves Guild. I became the new guildmaster, but I also received its curse. Whoever wears Nocturnal's cowl shall have his name stricken from history. Once I donned the cowl, no one in all of Tamriel could recognize me. With the cowl, I became the Grey Fox. Without it, I was a stranger, even to you.
You mean you were unable to return?
I've stood right next to you, and you didn't even know it. I cried out to you, "Here I am! It's me, Corvus!" But you just looked at me, confused.
You have broken my heart for a second time. I cannot let the infamous criminal mastermind, the Grey Fox, become the Count of Anvil. If you try to announce yourself as Corvus, I will deny you. I will deny you before the Emperor if I have to.
I guessed you would say these terrible things to me. That is why I brought my friend along. From this moment forward, I renounce my life of crime forever. I'm passing the Grey Cowl of the Thieves Guild to its new guild master.
How are you
The
today?
Grey Cowl is now yours. You are the new guild master of the Thieves Guild. You will find that history has been altered tonight. Such is the power of Nocturnal's curse that lifting it can alter time itself.
This is an excellent camera angle. Well done. So he told us early on that he was working on a way that there wouldn't be a next wearer of the Grey Cowl because of the curse. And now without even asking us, he's just given it to me, so I'm now cursed. Also, does that mean that no one will remember my name or my deeds? So from the moment I put it on, no one will remember that I'm the hero Kvatch, or that I used to be the guy who got all the Knights of the Nine items, all of that stuff. Like, all of my heroic deeds get swept aside. Do I stop being the Fighters Guild leader and Mages Guild leader? What is different?
If Emmer Derloth had not stolen Nocturnal's cowl, the Thieves Guild would never have fallen on such hard times. Because of the curse, he was unable to operate in the normal world of business and society. He could only act as the Guild's figurehead. That has been undone. If you go to the Imperial City, you will find that the Thieves Guild has a guild hall on the site of the ruins of Derloth.
Huh. So you somehow altered history so that the curse is now undone to some extent? Because you still gave me the Grey Cowl, which should have a magical effect if it will tell me. There we go. Fortify Sneak, 25 points. Feather, 200 points. And Detect Life, 120 feet. Don't really care about the Detect Life. Feather and Fortify Sneak sound good. However, the Grey Cowl has additional effects where all the crimes of all the Grey Foxes are applied to it, but also any crime I do while wearing it gets applied to the Grey Cowl rather than me. So when I take it off, I've no longer got the bounty for those crimes. But while I'm wearing it, I have the bounty for all of the Grey Fox's crimes, I think.
You wear the shadows well, fellow thief.
I really don't. I'm so bad at stealth. Also, you are not the Grey Fox.
Shadow hide you.
You're Corvus, apparently.
What can I do for you?
Do you want to talk about your husband? No?
Bye.
I'm wondering if I leave and come back, if things will be different with them. History has been rewritten. I should go see the Thieves Guild Hall in the Imperial City waterfront. The Grey Fox, or Count Corvus as he is now known, told me that I get to run the place, being the master thief that I am. Yeah. They quickly threw up a throne for him. Corvus Umbernox.
Good day.
Good day.
Be seeing you.
I hope I can help.
Nothing from either of you. Alright, let's put it on.
You're wanted dead or alive, Grey Fox. This will be easier if you're dead.
Oh, wow. And I don't get a chance to pay it off. Just resist arrest. Well, that was fast.
Then pay with your blood.
The new Grey Fox. The cowl suits you. Me? I am much happier without it. Farewell.
What? Leave my husband and I alone, Grey Fox. Your presence only stirs up evil memories.
Alright. Let's reload on the autosave of stepping in. I was curious to see if they would respond to me putting on the cowl, and they do. But I'm not thrilled about being immediately attacked by all guards because the Grey Fox is wanted dead or alive. That's less good. So we're supposed to go to the waterfront now, where there is a new guild hall, apparently. So the claim is that that history was rewritten, so the guy never stole the Grey Cowl, and so the Thieves Guild didn't go through hard times, which is why we now have a guild hall that wasn't there moments before. But I'm left with the question of, if he never stole the Grey Cowl, how do I have it? Seems like a bit of an inconsistency, that I'm not fully understanding the lore. But Elder Scroll lore always has had a bit of time nonsense. To my understanding, at least, if you look into the history of Arena and Daggerfell, there's some time nonsense going on there, to my understanding.
Good to see you.
I don't
Is
like
it
to think about zombies.
Here?
Missing arms,
I think
legs,
so.
heads. They smell awful and they're hard to kill.
You don't say.
We probably need to get to it from the back, I suppose? Yes, so yeah, this wasn't here before. Wooden door to Dariloth's basement. Let's get the right spell. 3 lockpicks. Nice. Not going to say no to that. Just a locked door leading to lockpicks. Weird.
Greetings, honored friend.
Hello.
I hope I can help.
Any rumors?
I heard the gauntlets of the Crusader are gone from the chapel in Coral.
Correct.
Shadow hide you.
Boom. I am suddenly the Grey Fox.
As I live and breathe, the Grey Fox. It's an honor. Good day.
Nothing new. Alright, nothing exciting in the basement, really, besides a handful of lockpicks. What's going on in his house?
As I live and breathe, the Grey Fox, it's an honor.
Yeah.
Phintius has the best bookstore in the city. Of course, First Edition is the only bookstore in the city.
Can I pay off the fines for and bounty for the Grey Fox?
You can pay your fines to the guards, serve your time, or pay me half, and I'll fix them all.
So it's $250 to pay him off, but it doesn't give me the option. I guess I'll work out my problems on my own.
It's your prison sentence, not mine.
Yeah, so there's no option
Bye.
to pay off the Grey Fox's bounty. So that's the effect of sea life or whatever it is. Wooden door. That must be the front door that is boarded up.
You're the Grey Fox.
I am the Grey Fox. This is the Guildmaster's room. Anything of note? I'll take some of those. They're valuable. Proper lock design. Proper lock design and construction. I've encountered many thieves whose sole interest in locks is how to open them and thereby pilfer the protected contents of the room or chest. I've taken upon myself to devise a system of locks that can defeat such villainous intent. The materials used to create a lock are of utmost importance. Shoddy brass or copper will give way to a well-placed kick, thereby rendering the lock itself useless. I recommend steel over iron when choosing material. More robust materials tend to be prohibitively expensive and necessitate the door being made of similar metals. I've been chagrined to stumble across the shattered shell of a wooden chest, its dwarven lock, intact and still locked. Once these basics are settled, pay particular attention to the offset of the tumblers. A 7-degree offset to the keyhole will allow a torque-style key to work smoothly, while at the same time causing numerous headaches to thieves attempting to insert non-torque lockpicks. In a similar fashion, the springs of the tumblers should be made by different smiths. Each smith will unknowingly create a spring with different tension than his fellow smiths. This variance will also create difficulties for anyone attempting to pick the lock. By order of the Legion Commander of the Imperial Watch, Hieronymus Lex is relieved of his duties as a Watch Captain of the Imperial Watch. His services are to be contracted to the Countess of Anvil for the remainder of his Imperial contract. When that contract expires, the Countess of Anvil may choose at her discretion to retain him or release him. Which means that that Hieronymus Lex is now the guard captain for the Count of Anvil, who is the Grey Fox, which is just funny. And I'm sure it was part of the intent. I mean, part of the intent was he knew that Hieronymus would be a good guard captain to watch over his wife. There's Sevilla's Stone. Does it do anything new for us? Nope. Alright, then just drop it. Perfect. Yeah, not much really up here. Let's take off the cowl. Because I don't want to be the Grey Fox when I go out and about.
A pleasure to speak with you.
Anything further from you?
You can pay your...
No, so we can't pay.
It's your prison. Shadow hide you.
We have no fines to pay off as ourself either. I guess that's that. The Thieves Guild is done. So now the question becomes, what do I do next? We have the main quest, of course.
Hello.
The Dark Brotherhood. But to get into there, I've got to murder someone. And I haven't specifically found anyone that I feel good about just killing. So I haven't.
Who will help an old beggar?
And then there's the Shivering Isles DLC, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So we'll dive into that. So that's this strange island that has appeared in the middle of the bay. I remember liking the Shivering Isles DLC when I played it as a kid. Possibly could have drank a potion of water walking to make this a bit quicker. It's fine though. Strange door. And it looks like there's a person inside of it. So yeah, I have some memories of this DLC, but I'm sure there's plenty I don't remember. So yeah, we could just go straight to the door. But I'm betting a lot of these ingredients are local to the Shivering Isles. So I kind of want to pick them up. Also, I'm curious if there's going to be a Nirnroot around here. It doesn't look like it. I think I would hear it if it was. I've found a strange door in Nibbin Bay. That is a creepy looking mushroom. Hello.
No, go away. I'm not here.
You're not here?
Can't talk now. That door has been making noises again. No telling what's coming out.
Have
Here
things
comes another one!
been coming out?
Why? Why? Everything is wrong. It can't be done. Stay away from me. I won't go back. You can't make me go back. I'll kill you all. You're all going to die.
Stay back. This one's violent.
Watch out. Die.
You
Stay away.
Show me what you've got.
Show me what you got.
I'd stay back from that door if I were you. Nothing that's gone in has come out right.
but things have come out. What can you tell me about this strange door?
I don't know where it came from, and I don't want to. Those who've gone in have come back out wrong. I'm just here to warn folks to stay away.
What happened to them?
Look for yourself. Their brains are addled. Got no sense. Perfectly normal people went in there. And this is what's come out.
Well, I'm going in.
Ha! It's your funeral. I'm just here to warn people, not keep them out. Go ahead in. I'll be here to clean up the mess when you come out.
You can't fight me. Just letting you know. Like, that is a fight you will lose.
Unworthy, unworthy, unworthy. Useless mortal meat, walking bag of dung.
Okay.
A nice effort, though. Shame he's dead. These things happen. Bring me a champion. Rend the flesh of my foes. A mortal champion to wade through the entrails of my enemies.
Well, I am a champion and a hero.
Really? Do come in. It's lovely in the Isles right now. Perfect time for a visit.
I do like this triple face. Nothing further to say? What about you?
No, go away. I'm not here.
Okay, nothing new from you. Alright, let's head on in. Door to the Fringe. Huh.
Please, sit.
The Madness of Pelagius. You don't mind if I read this first, do you? The man who would be emperor of all Tamriel was born Thoriz Pelagius Septim, a prince of the royal family of Wayrest in 3rd Era 119, at the end of a glorious reign of his uncle Antiochus I. Wayrest had been showered by much preference during the years before Pelagius' birth, for King Magnus was Antiochus' favorite brother. It's hard to say when Pelagius' madness first manifested itself, for in truth, the first 10 years of his life were marked by much insanity in the land itself. When Pelagius was just over a year old, Antiochus died and had a daughter, Kintira, assumed the throne to the acclaim of all. Kintira II was Pelagius' cousin and an accomplished mystic and sorceress. If she had sufficient means to peer into the future, she would have surely fled the palace. The story of the War of the Red Diamond has been told in many other scholarly journals, but as most historians agree, Kintira II's reign was usurped by her and Pelagius' cousin Uriel by the power of his mother, Potema, the so-called Wolf Queen of Solitude. Yeah, we've read about a lot of that in an early book. The year after her coronation, Kintira was trapped in Glenpoint and imprisoned in the imperial dungeons there. All of Tamriel exploded into warfare as Prince Uriel took the throne as Uriel III, and High Rock, because of the imprisoned Empress's presence there, was the location of some of the bloodiest battles. Pelagius' father, King Magnus, allied himself with his brother Sepphoris against the usurper emperor, and brought the wrath of Uriel III and Queen Potema down on Wayrest. Pelagius, his brothers and sisters, and his mother Uthelia fled to the Isle of Balfera. Uthela was of the line of Dureni, and her family manse is still located on that ancient isle even to this day. There's thankfully much written record of Pelagius' childhood in Balferia, recorded by nurses and visitors. All who met him described him as a handsome, personable boy, interested in sport, magic, and music, even assuming diplomats' lack of candor. Pelagius seemed, if anything, a blessing for the future of the Septim dynasty. When Pelagius was 8, Sepphoris slew Uriel III at the Battle of Itchadag, and proclaimed himself Emperor Sepphoris I. For the next 10 years of his reign, Sepphoris battled Potema. Pelagius' first battle was the Siege of Solitude, which ended with Potema's death and the final end of the war. In gratitude, Sepphoris placed Pelagius on the throne of Solitude. As King of Solitude, Pelagius' eccentricities of behavior began to be noticeable. As a favorite nephew of the Emperor, few diplomats of Solitude made critical commentary about Pelagius. For the first 2 years of his reign, Pelagius was at the very least noted for his alarming shifts in weight. 4 months after taking the throne, a diplomat from Ebonheart called Pelagius a hale and hearty soul with a heart so big it widens his waist. 5 months after that, the visiting princess of Firsthold wrote to her brother that the king's gripped my hand and it felt like I was being clutched by a skeleton. Pelagius is greatly emaciated indeed. Sepphoris never married and died childless 3 years after the Siege of Solitude. As the only surviving sibling, Pelagius' father Magnus left the throne of Wayrest and took residence at the imperial city as the Emperor Magnus I. Magnus was elderly and Pelagius was his oldest living child, so the attention of Tamriel focused on Sentinel. By this time, Pelagius' eccentricities were becoming infamous. There are many legends about his acts as King of Sentinel, but few well-documented cases exist. It is known that Pelagius locked the young princes and princesses of Sylvanar in his room with him, only releasing them when an unsigned declaration of war was slipped under the door. When he tore off his clothes during a speech he was giving at a local festival, his advisors apparently decided to watch him more carefully. On the orders of Magnus, Pelagius was married to the beautiful heiress of an ancient dark elf noble family, Kataraya Rathim. Nordic kings who marry dark elves seldom improve their popularity. There are 2 reasons most scholars give for the union. Magnus was trying to cement relations with Ebonheart, where Rathim's clan hailed. Ebonheart's neighbor, Mournhold, had been a historical ally of the Empire since the very beginning, and the royal consort of Queen Berenzia had won many battles in the War of the Red Diamond. Ebonheart had a poorly kept secret of aiding Uriel III and Potema. The other reason for the marriage was more personal. Kataraya was a shrewd diplomat as she was beautiful. If any creature was capable of hiding Pelagius' madness, it was she. On the 8th of Second Seed, 3rd Era, 145, Magnus I died quietly in his sleep. Joleth, Pelagius' sister, took the throne of Solitude, and Pelagius and Kataraya rode to the imperial city to be crowned Emperor and Empress of Tamriel. It is said that Pelagius fainted when the crown was placed on his head, but Kataraya held him up, so only those closest to the throne could see what had happened. Like so many Pelagius' stories, this cannot be verified. Pelagius III never truly ruled Tamriel. Kataraya and the Elder Council made all the decisions and only tried to keep Pelagius from embarrassing all. Still, stories of Pelagius III's reign exist. It was said that when the Argonian ambassadors from Blackrose came to court, Pelagius insisted on speaking in all grunts and squeaks, as that was the Argonians' natural language. It is known that Pelagius was obsessed with cleanliness, and many guests reported waking to the noise of an early morning scrub down in the imperial palace. The legend of Pelagius, while inspecting the servants' work, suddenly defecating on the floor to give them something to do, is probably apocryphal. When Pelagius began actually biting and attacking visitors to the imperial palace, it was decided to send him to a private asylum. Kataraya was proclaimed regent 2 years after Pelagius took the throne. For the next 6 years, the emperor stayed in a series of institutions and asylums. Traitors to the empire have many lies to spread about this period. Whispered stories of hideous experiments and tortures performed on Pelagius have almost become accepted as fact. The noble lady Kataraya became pregnant shortly after the emperor was sent away, and rumors of infidelity and even more absurd conspiracies to keep the sane emperor locked away ran amok. As Kataraya proved her pregnancy came about after a visit to her husband's cell, with no other evidence, as loyal subjects, we are bound to accept Empress's word on the matter. Her second child, who would reign for many years as Uriel IV, was the child of her union with her consort, Lariette, and publicly acknowledged as such. On a warm night in Sun's dawn, in his 34th year, Pelagius III died after a brief fever in his cell at the Temple of Kinnereth in the Isle of Bethany. Kataraya I reigned for another 46 years before passing the scepter on to the only child she had with Pelagius, Cassander. Pelagius' wild behavior has made him perversely dear to the province of his birth and death. The 2nd of Sun's dawn, which may or may not have been the anniversary of his death, records are not very clear, is celebrated as Mad Pelagius, the time when foolishness of all sorts is encouraged, and so one of the least desirable emperors in the history of the Septim dynasty has become one of the most famous ones. It seems like it'd be easy to tell if someone was actually of the imperial dynasty, since we have the Amulet of Kings that can only be worn by someone with the king's blood. So I'm not sure how you reach the point where you don't know if they're telling the truth or not.
Please, have a seat.
Sure, I suppose. Hi, Haskell.
Yes, what can I do for you? I imagine you're here about the door?
It is strange.
Yes, you have entered, and now you are here. Amazing. Truly.
Who are you and what is this place? I'm less concerned with who you are. What is this place?
You approach the Shivering Isles. Through the door behind me lies the realm of Sheogorath, Prince of Madness, Lord of the Never There.
And who are you?
I am Haskell, Chamberlain to the Lord Sheogorath.
Why did that door appear in Cyrodiil?
Because my lord wills it to be so. It poses no danger to Mundus. No compact has been violated. It is a doorway, an invitation. Perhaps you will accept it for what it is.
What do you want with me?
For you? I do not know. My lord seeks a mortal to act as his champion. As for his intent, to attempt to fathom it is a foolish endeavor. His will is his own. His reality follows suit. You are here because you chose to enter. You were not summoned.
True. And what about the people outside?
They entered this realm and were ill prepared. Their minds are now the property of my lord.
That's less good. Can they be cured?
Cured? You speak as if they are diseased. They live now in another state of being. Perhaps it is you who needs a cure.
If the cure is anything like their condition, then no. What happens now?
You do as you will. You may leave the way you entered. Your life will be none the worse for your time spent here. Or you may continue onward, through the door behind me. If you can pass the gates of madness, perhaps the Lord Sheogorath will find a use for you.
Possibly as his champion. And if I go through the door?
Who is to say? There are always choices to be made. The realm of madness is no different in that regard. Your choices are your own. Enter or do not, but make your decision. I've other duties to which I must attend. Speak with me again when you have made up your mind. The anticipation is almost too much to bear.
Huh. Before I make that decision, we had a book about the Daedric lords. Do I still have it on me? Hopefully. Do I not? I don't think it's Fire and Darkness. No, maybe I dropped it off at some point or sold it. That's a shame. I was hoping to read about the Daedric Prince Sheogorath and see what is known about him. So I could continue on, but I have to talk to you first.
Let's be civil, shall we? Please, have a seat.
Okay, you won't talk if I'm standing. Well, that is a cool-looking door. Alright, I'm fine talking to you while sitting.
Well, have you made up your mind? The tension is almost palpable.
I'll do it.
Fine. I'm sure my lord will be most pleased, assuming you ever manage to see him. You'll want to pass through the gates of madness. Oh, and mind the gatekeeper. He dislikes strangers to the realm. Enjoy your stay.
Okay. That is a cool effect. Alright, this gateway doesn't go away. We are just now here, but I can't stand up. There we go. So I can still leave. I've entered the Shivering Isles. In order to find the Lord of this realm, I must first pass through the gates of madness. Looks so good. Does appear to be a wall around us. Wondering if I can just jump. Nope. Invisible wall on top of the actual wall. Well, how about that? Let's get back to the road. However, I think this is a fine place to stop for today. Next time we will head deeper into the Shivering Isles and see what awaits us. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys then. Bye.